Hey shooters, coming up next, Molly Smith will walk us through the one-on-one man versus man competition.
And right now I'm in Parma, Idaho for the MGM Grand Nationals. This is a man versus man steel match. It's all come down to this. You shoot the targets on your respective side, and whoever hits the stop plate first wins. Different handicaps are installed depending on what you're shooting and who you're going against. But right now we're going to talk to Aaron Goodfellow, the match director. Let's go.
My name's Aaron Goodfellow, and I'm the match director for the 2012 MGM Grand Nationals man-on-man match here at Parma Rod and Gun Club in Parma, Idaho. Every stage you have competitors that are at the same ability. You have D class, C class, B class, all the way up to Grandmaster. And every one of those stages or squads have a single elimination bracket. The single elimination bracket, you have the best 2 out of 3, and whichever shooter wins 2 out of 3 advances in the bracket. So if you lose in the bracket early on, you get to watch and wait till the next stage, but once you get to the next stage, you're back into another random bracket. So you never have to shoot against the same person twice, hopefully, unless you get further on in the bracket. But it's all single elimination, very exciting, fast-paced shooting. We like to call it that it's the drag racing of handgun shooting. With man-on-man, you have yourself and another guy standing next to you, and so you hear his gun going off, you see his targets go down, so it's very psychological. You really have to focus on what you're doing, because if you get caught up on what your competitor is doing, then pretty soon his plate's going down and you lose. So you really have to concentrate and focus on what you're doing during the match. All right, guys, I'm here to show you a little bit of what a man-on-man stage looks like. If we go down here and look at the steel, this happens to be the spinner stage, and this is an MGM spinner, and you'll notice that the top plate is a little bit smaller than the bottom plate, but you can hit either the top or the bottom, and that starts it spinning, and eventually you want it to spin, the bottom to spin over the top. So if we step back and take a closer look at the stage, we've got an identical spinner on the left and an identical spinner on the right, and then a stop plate. So whoever spins it first and then gets their stop plate down, that's the winner. And that's the basic idea of a man-on-man stage, is that you have an identical setup on the left, on the right. Whoever gets theirs shot first and their stop plate down is the winner. Now the spinner is a kind of a unique stage, because you can hit it and think it's going to go over, and it didn't quite go down or didn't quite go over. And we've had shooters hit it and it just barely goes, and they've had their stop plate down for a second or two because it took so long for it to rotate. And that shooter won, but he didn't know if he was going to win or not, because it has to go all the way over, and he wasn't sure if it was going to go or not, so he gambled, took the chance, and it paid off. And sometimes it doesn't pay off.
All right, here we have 2 spinners. I'm going to try to spin both of them at the same time and then keep them spinning after I get both of them spinning.
Welcome back. You know, these matches always give a lot of adrenaline when you're going. And on a stage like this, where it's very, very fast-paced, and you can almost see, but you shouldn't be looking at the other person's targets, it can really get pretty heated back there. And have you had a favorite stage so far?
You know, I really like them all. Of course, we haven't got to the spinner yet, but that is probably one of my favorite stages.
What's your strategy on the spinner?
Hit it with a big bullet and hope it turns.
That's smart.
Ideally, you want to shoot the bottom plate about 5 times or so you can rock it back, and then immediately you switch to the top plate, try to shoot about 3 to 4 shots on that, and at that time you can transition to this plate right here and then 3 to 4 shots on it and drive it through. That's how you spin it.
There's a lot of different schools of thought on how to shoot a spinner. Some people like to start on the bottom, some people like to start on the top. My opinion is I like to start on the top because it's a smaller target and it's easier to hit a smaller target that's stationary than when it's moving. So get started 2 or 3 shots on the bottom, and then if you're really good and fast, you can get 3 or 4 on the bottom, and then it'll go over. With a 40 caliber, they can get them over in 5 or 6 shots. So again, 2 or 3 to the top and 3 or 4 to the bottom, and hopefully it goes over. If you start on the bottom, it's gonna look like this. You're gonna get a couple on the bottom, then you gotta wait, and then get some more on the top, and top, bottom. Some people, they'll get going and they get confused and they'll stop themselves. They'll hit the top when they shouldn't, and then they just lost all their momentum. Another tip for shooting a spinner is you get it started and then you wait until it starts moving. If you start it and you start shooting the bottom while it's still moving forward, you cancel all of that momentum. So it's all about waiting, and we want to go really fast when we're doing this. So we hit it and then we start shooting immediately, and we're kind of canceling ourselves out. So it's all about speed, but on this particular target, sometimes you got to slow down and wait. You know, when it gets to about right there, you're waiting, and then when it shows itself, that's when you can start shooting again and hopefully send it over.
Atta girl.
Well done.
Did it go over? Did it go? Yeah. I don't think so. No, I don't think it went over. It didn't.
All right, so here we are on Pesky Poppers. This is another stage set up for the man-on-man shoot-off, but here you see we have a standard plate rack from MGM, but they've changed out your square plate or a round plate for these tall Pesky Poppers. This was also shot at the American Handgunner, but you notice this is about a 4-inch circle, and then it gets down to about 2 inches and it tapers to the bottom. This one is a really hard stage because you go from such big targets that are as wide as 12 to 14 inches to these little 4-inch targets, and it really causes the shooters a lot of anguish. The shooters are so good and the matchups are so good that one little fumble, if you don't grab your draw right, or if you start missing on one of these little targets, the guy next to you is going to beat you. And that's an exciting part of man-on-man, is you have to do your thing every time, and your equipment has to run every single time, or you're going to give something up to a competitor.
We'll be right back. What's your favorite stage so far, Colton?
Probably the Polish plate racks. They're the most fun and interesting targets out here.
What's your strategy for that?
The 2-3-4-1 strategy, where if you look at the 4 plates on the top, like they have numbers, you shoot the second, the third, the fourth, and then the first, and that keeps it fairly level, so it won't start spinning.
How are are you attacking the Polish plate rack?
That one's bad.
I agree.
I'm
gonna name it pretty bad. You know, those are hard to come by.
Yes.
But when you find them, you use them as much as possible so you can get better at them. What's been your favorite part about this match?
Polish plate rack. We own one, so.
Okay, so you get the advantage on everyone.
Yeah, but it's honestly my favorite because it's one of the ones that are the most difficult to tackle, and when you finally tackle it, you're like, yeah, if I can do this, I can do anything, right?
And that's like with people with strong hand, weak hand.
Oh,
They practice that all the time because then if they're able to do that, hey, well, I can shoot with 2 hands even better, so.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Are you having any favorite stages?
Actually, the Polish plate rack was good today. I had a good time.
And what's your strategy on the Polish plate rack? Because that tends to trip people up when it starts spinning.
Bottom center, top center, then the outsides.
By a hair. Change sides, please.
Thank you.
Shooters ready. Stand by.
Good shooting.
Dude, good luck.
Thanks. Rotating plate racks are always an interesting thing to watch because it's really just depending on where you hit, it can send the plate going in a totally different speed or direction.
Outside plate rack. 8 plates and then the crossover for all the marbles. Shooters ready. Stand by. Winner right. Unload and show clear.
Clear.
Clear. Bridge is safe.
On the left. Jim on the right.
Shooters ready. Stand by. Winner left.
That's the way to do it.
Good job.
Stand by. Winner right.
Clear.
You got me again.
Good shooting.
You're saving me ammo.
That was a very fast stage, so I really had to calm myself down to be able to hit every target on my first one, which I missed once, but that's okay.
One plate.
Came out as a winner, so that means 2 points rather than just 1. From what I gather about this, you're shooting blue from the blue box and then orange from the orange box. So you really have to pay attention to what targets you're hitting and which targets you're engaging because you don't want to help the opponent by shooting them their targets. This can be really difficult on the half poppers where half the target is blue and half the target is orange. So you really have to focus on just hitting yours so that you don't help the opponent, which if you're going fast can be pretty difficult.
There you go. Stand by. Oh!
Can't give up even on your last stop plate.
Wait, orange, Molly, you're blue. Shooters ready.
I remembered where that thing was.
Stand by.
And actually looked at it. It worked.
Come on, Molly. Pull it together.
Oh, do you know what? They had a problem with that one the other day,
That
too.
was the one that was locking up the other day.
Good hit. And then you transition off. I mean,
You can see them. They're in that circle.
Well, yeah, because these
if they're below the circle,
yeah,
then
they fall so
Well,
slow.
I mean, even though the orange one wasn't even up,
They'll give her a
which
reshoot.
you kept on smacking it. Because I mean, you
Because
hit
that's
it
tough
good
mentally.
6 times.
You call a good hit, you hit the steal, you transition.
Yeah,
to the head.
it should be a reach.
If that's right,
I mean, or a hit and a win, whatever. I mean, however you want to call it.
Yeah.
But it was. I mean, them were definitely hit. What do you think?
Yeah.
It hangs up at the bottom. Huh?
How long has she been competing?
maybe let's tweak it a little bit.
And then we'll have
Yeah, if
one.
that one goes down, that blue one will
Whoever
catch
wins this
it.
one wins it all.
That's right.
Got it.
Shooters ready. Stand by.
Coming up next, I'm going to be shooting off of this line. On this stage, you're clearing all the targets on your respective side. That means that you're shooting one target, a target that looks like one target, twice. Now, this can be really confusing for your average shooter because you're programmed to just hit the middle of the target and then move on. Here you'll have to put two on either side, so this requires more accuracy and requires you to slow down and make sure you get all your hits.
Shooters ready. Stand by. Winner left. Range is safe. Reset.
The targets move when you hit one of them, so you don't know which one's going down. Also,
All right,
really
up
paying
next
attention
is
to your
Chuck
side.
and myself. Shooters ready. Stand by. Left on the right. I dropped my load. Woo! Winner on the left. Shooters ready. Yeah, I seen it on top side. Stand by. Winner on the left. Reload and holster. Hands at surrender when you're ready. Shooters ready. Stand by. Winner on the left. Unload and show clear. Hands and surrender when you're ready. Shooters ready. Stand by. Winner right.
Me too.
Leave that one down, son. Shooters ready. Stand by. Winner left.
Okay, getting ready to go on the zip line, getting all strapped in so I can be safe, and I think I'm going to be shooting while I'm going down it, so this is going to be pretty exciting.
All right, let go with your hand. There you go. I just don't want these pulleys to get your fingers. Okay, go ahead and lean forward and see if you can take a step down. I got you, so you're not going anywhere. Okay, how's it feel?
It hurts under my ribs.
Snug around the middle? Okay,
Yeah.
pull you back up. There you go. Okay.
I'm just thinking if it was a little bit higher, I could probably do it, but it's like right under my rib cage, so.
Okay, so what's you want? What's bothering?
This is a little bit
This belt?
low, yeah.
So you want this higher?
Yeah. Thank you.
Does that feel good?
Yeah, much better.
All right.
Okay, the famous MGM Tower. All right, let's try it, folks.
Gun safety. Finger off the trigger.
Okay. Go ahead and step down one. All right. You good?
Yeah?
Okay. Cameron, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to give you a ready, stand by, and then about a 3-second delay. Okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Stand by.
Rack it!
There you go.
Just slide back. Hey, you're gonna slide back, Molly!
Get ready to shoot again!
Get ready to shoot!
There you go. There you go. One more on the right!
On the right!
All right, pick her up.
I kind of feel like limp from your shoulders down and you can't really do much about where you're going. So you get really anxious at first, and then as you're going down, it's like a roller coaster except with the gun, so it's a little different. This has been an awesome match. Thank you so much for having us.
My pleasure.
And I'm looking forward to coming back and seeing it next year. I had an amazing time, and I bet you guys did too. So tune in next week to ATSN TV.